I should say my name is Tommy Craven. I'm going to tell a little bit more about myself here in a minute. But, this is the first time I'm doing this presentation, so if it kind of gets a little off subject, I'm sorry about that. But it should all be pretty informative to you guys. Some of the stuff you guys might already know or think is common sense, but hopefully you learned something from it. I would like to go around and get your names and what grade you're in, because some of the stuff in the presentation is kind of geared towards either freshmen or geared towards seniors, so I just kind of want to get a vibe. So I'm going to start.
Ben, 8th grade.
Okay.
Adam, 5th grade.
Thomas, junior. Jack, sophomore.
Haley, senior.
Okay. Sounds good. Just a little bit more about me. I just graduated from Jasper High School in May, finally. In the fall, I'm going to be headed to New York University, where I'm majoring in film, business, and theater. I'm going to talk more about these scholarships here in a minute, but I'm a Point Scholar and a Horatio-Alger Scholar, and I am an eBay entrepreneur, which I got that experience working with Vicki. I had her boot camp when I was an 8th grader going into my freshman year. Me and my friend John Pierce actually started a small business called Vision Advertising, and we did website designs for some companies, and we actually made a couple $100 off that, and ever since then we kind of quit doing that because it was really time consuming. So I started doing eBay on my own, and I've done it since a freshman. I don't know how much money I've made, but it's been a lot, and I sell stuff for my family, my friends, myself. I go through clothes, so if I buy something and then 3 months later I don't want it anymore, I sell it and then buy something new with it. So recycling your stuff is kind of what I do. Just to tell you a little bit about what I did in high school. I wasn't at the top of my class, or what you consider the top of the class. I was 20th out of 250. I had a 3.8 GPA on a non-weighted scale and a 4.21 on a weighted scale. And then some of the clubs I was involved in, I tried to do community service like Key Club, student council, performing arts. I got involved in the theater and choir and stuff like that. And then Business Professionals of America is one of the organizations that I really excelled at. And I was in it for all 4 years from a freshman, and it's a really neat organization that you take business classes and then you compete in events that kind of match the curriculum. So I was in the accounting class, so I took an accounting competition, and you compete at district, state, and national level. So I went to Reno 1 year, Anaheim, California 1 year, and recently I was in Washington, D.C. Also in this organization, I assumed 3 leadership roles. I was a district president, and then I was state president for Indiana, and now I'm currently the national treasurer for the entire United States for BPA. I'm going to be holding that position as a freshman in college, and then after that I'll be done with BPA. As far as a student member, I'll probably go into it and try to do something as an adult. I don't know what yet. And then I also did awareness activities, such as anti-drinking and drug and substance abuse, and I went to elementary schools to kind of tell them about that. The reason I bring up all my activities is because I want to show you that I had a wide range of activities. I didn't try to focus just on sports or just on art. I try to take a lot of things and to expand my interests. Which brings up the importance of extracurricular activities. For your seniors and even some middle schoolers, are you guys pretty involved in your school?
Yeah.
Okay. That's only going to help you the more you get involved as a freshman, especially for you guys coming in. And as you guys probably know, the more you get involved, it's only going to help you in the future. One reason extracurricular activities are so important is because it allows you to explore interests. It's very important as a freshman to try to get involved in organizations and clubs. Don't be scared because there's older people in it. Just try to find in the school and figure out what you like and what you don't like. The worst thing that can happen is you don't like the club, and you can kind of ixnay that out as a possible career choice. But you can, I didn't know I wanted to do business, and then I joined BPA, and now I'm going to major in business. So you can really find something you enjoy, and extracurricular activities allow you to do that. What it also allows you to do is network. There's 2 aspects of networking with extracurricular activities. One is you obviously get to connect with your classmates more and find friends, but one of the more important things you get to do is find people outside of your school and even outside of your state. One thing that I did is I went to National Leadership Conference for Business Professionals of America, and I was able to meet kids from all over the state, which really expands your networking. If you end up going to school in, say, Florida and you don't have any friends, you might have met someone before in high school. Another aspect is adults. I'm going to talk about this more when I talk about scholarship, but whenever you start applying for colleges and scholarships, recommendation letters is a huge part of that. One thing you can network with is finding adults who really see the potential in you. Like Vicki is someone I consider an adult who I would ask a recommendation letter for, because she knows who I am, she knows the work I've done, and she can vouch for how good I would be for a scholarship or a college. So really, even though there's going to be teachers you don't like, there's teachers that you will like, and it's really good to form a good relationship with them, because it's only going to help you in the future. What colleges and scholarships are going to look at is at your extracurricular activities is going to show that you are committed to something other than being at the school from 8 to 3. I even consider working an extracurricular activity. I've had a job since I was in 7th grade, and colleges really like that because it shows that you didn't just get off school at 3 and then go watch TV all night. It showed that you did something, and they're going to really like that. Also, try to take leadership roles. Underclassmen don't necessarily have to worry about that as much, but it's good if you do. For upperclassmen, it's really good to not only be in the organization or club, but to take leadership roles, because after you've been there for a couple of years, you kind of know what the club is about, and it's really good for you to give that knowledge to younger students, and colleges are going to look at that and say, wow, they really stood out in that club instead of just being in it. So over on the right, I have things to remember. Ensure variety. Like I said, I had everything from community service to business to theater arts, and it really shows my range of things that I can do, and colleges and scholarships really like that. Leadership over membership, and what I mean by that is a scholarship is going to be, or a college is going to be a lot more impressed with you if you have two clubs that you have leadership roles in, rather than just being a member of 10 clubs. If you can stand out in a couple of clubs instead of just being a part of many, it looks a lot better. And then stay involved. Like if you join a club freshman year and you really like it, stay in it all 4 years. The longer you're in a club, it's going to show your commitment, which is something that they like. And don't overwhelm yourself. Your freshman year to senior year, the workload only gets harder, and you only have more stuff to do, and you get a car, and it just opens up, and you want to make sure that
you really need to know how to manage your time.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you overwhelm yourself, your work isn't going to be. The quality of work isn't going to be as high, and that's something you want to keep in mind. Like this senior year, I had senior curriculums. I was applying for college scholarships, all that, and sometimes I felt overwhelmed, but I didn't let it affect my quality of work that came out. So that's important.
You were never overwhelmed, were you, Tommy?
Never, yeah.
I think a few times you were pulling your hair out.
Yeah. There's going to be times where you're like, how do I do this? But I mean, there's a difference between being a little bit overwhelmed and just not being able to produce your work. Yeah. Talking about high school curriculum, I kind of took a different path than a lot of people. As far as different high schools do it differently, but mine weights classes that are math and science oriented. So if you get an A in a math or a science, you're going to get like a 4.9. Versus a business or art class, if you get an A, you're going to get a 4.0 in that class. So it really, a lot of people just take the sciences and math classes even if they don't want to go into that, just because the school forces you to. If your school is set up like that, or any variation of that, I really want you to try to stay away from that. Explore your interests. Like when you're signing up for classes, if there's a cooking class and it might not boost your GPA, but you really want to explore that, take it. Because this high school is the time to do that. Once you get to college, then you need to be taking classes that are towards your major. But right now in high school, it's only there so you can find the things that you want to do.